morning, dear student. Now we are going to see the problem in Hartnell governor. So you see this problem. A Hartnell governor having a central sleeve spring and two right angle bell crank lever moves between 290 rpm and 310 rpm of a sleeve lift of 15 mm, right? So 290 rpm and 310 rpm, the sleeve lift of 15 mm. So lift is going upward direction. So the sleeve arms and the ball arms are 80 mm and 120 mm respectively. The levers are pivoted at 120 mm from the governor axis, and ball of a mass of each ball is 2.5 kg. The ball arms are parallel to the axis of governor at lower equilibrium speed, right? So you see this diagram. So this is the simple line diagram of the Hartnell governor. So this line is the axis of the governor. This is the axis of the governor. It is a sleeve axis of the governor. First diagram shows the minimum position. Second diagram shows the maximum position. For a minimum position, so you see the condition is, say the ball arms are parallel to the governor axis at the lower equilibrium speed, at minimum equilibrium speed. So the lower arms are in horizontal position, the vertical arms are in exactly vertical position, right? So the lower arm, the length is 80 mm, right? It is clearly given, right? So the upper arm, right, the ball arm length is 120 mm, right? Isn't it, right? So now, so the centrifugal force Fc1 is radially acting outward direction at ball B1 point at minimum position, right? So at the same time, the sleeve weight is acting on this point, so mg plus the spring force. So the Hartnell governor is controlled by spring, right? The sleeve movement is directly controlled by spring, right? So this point, the two forces are acting in downward direction. One is a sleeve force, another one is a spring force. So sleeve force plus spring force divided by 2, right, acting on the R1 point, right? So similarly for the maximum position, so the governor is rotating, so the lower arm is moving upward direction, the upper arm, the vertical arm is moving towards leftward direction. So the sleeve move upward direction, that is a h height. So the h height is clearly given, that is 15 mm is given. The sleeve height is 15 mm, h is 15 mm, right? So now the y is equal to 80 mm, the x is equal to always 120 mm. So what is the distance between here to and here, right? You should calculate, that is a y2 you should calculate, but y here, y1 equal to y, because it is always in horizontal, but here it is not in horizontal, the lever is moving upward direction, the arm is moving upward direction, so the y is not equal to y2, so y2 you should calculate. So you write the given data first. So this given data, so what is the n1 speed, clear you given, so 290 rpm, then n2 speed 310 rpm, right? So the sleeve height, so lifting height, that is h is given, that is 50 mm, that is equal to h1 plus h2, right? So y is given, so 80 mm, so horizontal arm, lower arm length, then upper arm length, that is x is given, that is 120 mm. So here it is 120 mm, right? 80 mm and 120 mm, right? So at minimum position, so the radius of rotation, that is 120 mm. So the 120 mm, it is from here to here, this is 120 mm. So that is equal to R1, that is 120 mm, right? Okay, now R equal to R1, right? Very clear, right? So m is equal to mass of the ball equal to 2.5 kg, right? So from this, so you should determine load on this spring at the lowest. So load on the spring at the lowest, yes, and the highest equilibrium speed. Next one is stiffness of the spring you should calculate. So now we go to see the solution. Right. So in that solution, so first you should take the moment about O point for the minimum position. So take moment about O point, moment about O point, right? So for this position, so M capital mg plus S1 capital Ng plus S1 equal to, so to take it this side, so capital Mg divided by 2 into, so capital Mg divided by 2 into, so what is the distance? That is y, that is equal to that is equal to 2 Fc1 into x, right? Fc1 divided by x. Now rearrange this equation. So mg plus S1 equal to, right? So not 2, it is Fc. Fc now Fc1 2 Fc1 into x divided by y. This is the equation. This is a equation. Right? Very clear, isn't it? Right. So next you take the moment about. First we complete the A equation with respect to minimum position. Next to complete the B equation using maximum position. So right, so for that maximum position, right, take a moment about O point. So mg plus S2, that is equal to 2 Fc2 into x divided by y. This is B equation, right? So from this equation, so write S2. What is S2? S2 is equal to, so 2 centrifugal force formula, you know that centrifugal force F is equal to mr omega square. This is a general equation, right? This is a general equation. Now substitute m r2 omega 2 square, because Fc2, right? M2 r2 omega square into F2, right? So divided by x by y. Here you see this, in this problem the sleeve weight is not yet given, right? So the sleeve weight is not yet given means you should eliminate this. This is equal to 0. No need to take this. This is equal to 0. This is equal to 0, right? So now this equation written in this form, right? So next so now from this equation, so we found the two equations. So now from this equation you should find out the S1. How do you find out the S1? So I take, so you keep the S2 value as it is, right? So now S1, this equation may written as S1 equal to 2 Fc1 into x divided by y, because this is equal to 0, right? Now so 2 into m r1 omega 1 square into x divided by y. You know all the values here. 2 into, so what is the value for m? You know that 2.5 you substitute 2.5 into r value. So r equal to r1, here is r equal to r1, that is 120, 0.12 into omega square. You know that 2 pi n divided by 16. So if you want to find out the omega 1, so 2 pi n divided by 16. So substitute n1 value, you are getting that 30.4 whole square radians per radians per second, right? Radians per second. So now substitute 13.4 whole square into x divided by y. So x value 0.12, the y value 0.08. So now you find out x1 is equal to 831 Newton, you are getting that. So S1 is equal to 831 Newton, you are getting that. So next you find out the S2 value. How do you find out the S2 value? Take this equation here, right? Find out the S value, right? S2 value. So now first you find out the R2. So how do you find the H is equal to, right? So if you want to find out the S2, you must need R2. Omega 2, you know it is from the N2 we can easily calculate the omega 2. X value, Y value, you know, so we can easily put it. But what is the R2? So H is equal to R2 minus R1 into X divided by Y. There is a relation. So from this relation, the H value, you know, the H value, what is that? It is there in the diagram. So it is there in the given. So 0.015 equal to R2 into the Rn value 0.12 into X value 0.12 into 0.08. The finally, so the R2 equal to so value of 142.5 mm, you are getting that. Right, now substitute all the value in the S2 equation. So therefore S2 equal to 2 into m, so 2.5 into R2, this is 1, 0.1425 into, so omega 2 square. So how do you calculate the omega 2? So from this N2 you are going to calculate omega 2 equal to 2 pi N2 divided by 16. Finally you are getting 32.5 radians per second. Now substitute here. So 32.5 whole square, right, into 0.12 divided by 0.08. So S2 is equal to, you are getting that 1128 Newton. So from this determine, we can easily find out the S2 value. So first determine the load on the spring of the lowest and highest equilibrium speed, we can easily find out. That is a S1 and S2 we find out. Next one is the stiffness of the spring. How do you find out the stiffness of the spring, right? So second one, that is a stiffness of the spring. Stiffness of spring, small s. So small s is equal to capital S2 minus capital S1 divided by H. So you know all the value. S1 value 1128 minus 831. You know that S1 value is equal to 831, right? So divided by the H2 value 0. Sorry, it is a 15. Directly substitute in terms of mm. So 15 you are getting that. So small s is equal to 19.8 Newton per mm, you are getting. So this is called as spring stiffness. Thank you.